Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I am Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is my cousin Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
Very good. Very excited about this program tonight.
Yes. So today...
Hey, I got to do it this week.
There you go. So today is a very special day. This is the last show before Christmas. So today... we're going to do a little Christmas show. I mean, we got a topic or two that we're going to throw out there sports-wise, but I think we're going to do a little Christmas action today.
I'm ready. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. All right, well, you can catch us on Nosebleeds, the Nosebleed Sports Podcast on Facebook. You can catch us also on Twitter. Adam's at
Adam Schmidt 44.
And I'm at Sick With It. You got SoundCloud. You got
Castbox, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, which
YouTube.
is the same thing, I believe, YouTube.
Yeah, so if you don't catch us on Facebook Live on Wednesdays, 10:30 at night, right now, you can catch us Thursday morning or the rest of the week on any of those platforms. So, that being said, Adam Schmidt, Let's get started.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What do you want to start with today, man? It's Christmas time. It's Christmas season. It's a little Christmas in the air, if you will. But let's start off with a little Christmas present for the women out there.
Yes. So the Indiana Pacers. Let's start by saying the NBA does it better. The NBA does it better than any other league in sports and professional sports in many, many ways. They're not perfect. They make bad decisions. Things happen. They've had lockouts. They've had issues with owners. But generally, the NBA is considered, I think, by most people as the most progressive, kind of new age league. That there's the other leagues sometimes get a little stuck in old-fashioned rules and strategies. Within their sports. The NBA, though, has been for a long time, and especially in the last few years since Adam Silver's taken over as commissioner, the most progressive league. The Indiana Pacers.
The Indiana Pacers did something, but as you say that, the NFL at the same time has been pretty progressive when it comes to women as well. There's a woman scout in the NFL. Katie Blackburn is the executive vice president for the Cincinnati Bengals, woman in the front office. You have multiple assistant coaches. So the other leagues are out there doing the same kind of thing and helping out. But the NFL does something that nobody's ever done, or the NBA does something that nobody's ever done by actually, and Katie Blackburn, of course, is the daughter of the owner, so that's a little different, but of Mike Brown. But the Pacers went out and did something a little special. Yeah,
they hired Kelly Krauskopf, longtime president and general manager of the Indiana Fever, Indiana's WNBA team. They hired her, the Indiana Pacers hired her as the first female assistant general manager in NBA history.
They basically made a position for her. They didn't have an assistant general manager at the time. Kevin,
lots of teams have them.
Sure, but Kevin Pritchard, who is the president of base basketball operations for the Indiana Pacers, is very close with her. She was she was there to start the WNBA. She's been the president of the Indiana Fever. Is it the Fever? Indianapolis Fever? Indiana Fever. So she's been putting teams together, and good for her.
She spent, I'll tell you, she's one of those, she's a basketball lifer. You know those people, they're in baseball all the time, they're in football. Every sport has those people that just grew up around the game, was involved as a player, and then immediately got into it as a coach, an executive, something, a scout, whatever, and spend their life, their career in that sport. She's done the same thing. She played at Texas A&M. She was a high Division I college basketball player. She was, as you mentioned, she was the first the first director of basketball operations. I want to make sure I got that right, of the WNBA, of the entire WNBA.
Yep.
She was the assistant before that. She was the assistant commissioner for the Southwest Conference. She has served on USA Basketball's women's senior national team committee. So she has all these different positions within the sport of basketball all her life, since her entire adult life. And then the last 19 seasons in the front office with the Indiana Fever, most of those as the president and GM. In that time, in those 19 seasons, 13 playoff appearances, 3 WNBA finals, 1 championship. They share Bankers Life Fieldhouse as their home court with the Indiana Pacers. They are in the same building. Her offices have been in the same building with the Indiana Pacers brass for years and years and years. She has worked right next to Larry Bird and Donnie Walsh and all the guys that were part of the Pacers brass before this new regime that's in place now was there. So she's been talking. They've bounced ideas off of each other for years. She's been around. She knows the NBA. She knows basketball, and that's the most important thing. She knows the WNBA, the rosters and the way the league runs, more so than the NBA, because that's what she spent her time in. But she's been around the NBA for a long time because she's shared office space with those guys.
She made it real apparent too when she had a few interviews of the fact that she's talked with guys from the Pacers for years and good friends, and they bounce ideas off each other, and basically they started realizing that they basically do the same thing. It's just with bigger, stronger players and more dollar amounts in the contracts.
Correct. Yeah, that was the thing she said. Her first couple weeks, she's going to concentrate on familiarizing herself with the rosters of all of the NBA teams and with the collective bargaining agreement, the NBA collective bargaining agreement. And because, like you said, there are a lot of different, there are odd, rules and loopholes and things that are involved in the collective bargaining agreement that are way too difficult for my feeble mind to understand. But she's going to be doing that. She's a heck of a lot smarter than I am. So she's going to have the opportunity to help build this Pacers organization, who is, for the last year or two, one of the most surprising teams. They were a 4 seed, I think, last year in the Eastern Conference. They are back this year. I thought they'd drop off a little bit. They haven't. They're really good again this year.
Yeah.
So she's going to get an opportunity to be part of that. This news is bittersweet to me, though.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Because while it's a cool story that the first female assistant general manager has been hired, it brings up a lot of thought about why in the world is this just now happening? Why is a female being an assistant general manager, which is the highest level executive that anyone's ever been? I think there are a few other females in front offices in basketball,
sure,
but this is the highest level. Why in 2018 is this just now happening?
Well, and it just goes back to, if you ask me, I was thinking about it. It goes back to, it's a man's sport, and men are the ones that have always been, you just hire men to work with men. And thinking about that, as this lady gets I got 2 daughters. I have 2 little girls, and it's kind of a cool thing to see. Why wouldn't you look into hiring women for jobs like this? It literally gives you half of the population, the other half. You now have twice as many people to choose from. You got a better chance of getting smarter people. So, yeah, it's a good thing. It should have happened a while ago. Sure, we're moving along. Nothing's perfect. When I was a kid, you never in your life would have thought of a woman being on a football field or a basketball. And really, the Major League Baseball is probably last in line of all this progression. You don't see any women or ever in any front offices or anything like that I know of. The NFL's got some coaches. I think there's a special teams coach out there and some others out there. And obviously Popovich has his assistant coach, Becky Hammon,
right,
who's more than likely, I mean, she is the assistant manager or assistant coach. She's next in line. Like, she sits next to him on the bench. She will be the first women's coach when Popovich decides to retire.
It does seem like that, yes.
So, good. Do it right. They need to do it right and be hiring them not because they're women to put them out there first and be the first woman, but hire them because they're the best qualified for the job. I'm totally cool with it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just, and I don't want to harp on, we've almost gotten to a point now where we've especially in the last 5 to 10 years, we've kind of evolved so much as a society in inclusion and equality that now it seems like people are seeking it out and like almost over analyzing whether anytime a man gets hired or a white person gets hired for something and a woman, an African American, a European, an Asian person that gets passed up for a job. Now there's something wrong. This is racist. This is sexist. It's whatever. We've gotten so far evolved that it's almost gone a little too far where it's not equality anymore. Now it's almost overlapping. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we're at a point now that we're understanding that because it's been this way for forever, basically, that doesn't mean that we now understand that doesn't mean it's okay. That doesn't mean that it's right.
Or that it's right. Right. I mean, is there going to, and I'm probably wrong for saying this, but in my head, I still see and I still think, there's probably going to be more men in these jobs all the time anyway, because it's a men's sport and men are playing it, and you're more than likely going to hire that same ego, whatever. But that doesn't mean that, I mean, I could be, I'm probably as misogynistic as you can be in that case, but that's just how we were bred to think.
Right.
So when you see this, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Good for her. Good for my kids. At some time, my daughters could possibly do it. But at some point in time, it just needs to be, you hope that it can just be, so-and-so got hired as assistant general manager in Indiana. All right, let's see what this chick can do. Or let's see what she's going to do. Or let's see what he's going to do. Not, oh my gosh, they hired a woman.
Right. Yeah. And we're getting closer to that. But like I said, it just feels so odd that when you think about it now, 20 years ago when I was a teenager, yeah, I would have been like, wow, that's weird. A woman? Really? They hired a woman? Because I was, I didn't know. I didn't understand. I understood the world the way it was 20 years ago. Now I understand we're smarter as a people. It doesn't always seem that way, but we are smarter generally as a society about certain things now than we were 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 100 years ago.
Right.
And that's a great thing. And yes, the bottom line is this is a woman. I wish the story wasn't that it's a woman being hired, but since it is, now this paves the way. Now this, I think there are a lot of women that may have wanted to get involved in men's sports that were maybe discouraged or maybe almost a little intimidated because it was so male dominated. You hear stories all the time in college programs and NBA programs about there being this this sense,
good old boy.
Yeah, this is the good old boys club, or just a misogynistic aura around that environment in that space, wherever it is.
Right.
And it's and having more women involved is going to, that's the thing. Kelly Kroskoff getting this job should encourage more women to apply for these jobs to thrive.
And the cool thing about this when it comes to that side of it is she wasn't out there applying for this job. They came to her and said, and Kevin Pritchard came to her and said, hey, listen, months ago, apparently, listen, hey, what do you think about this? Is this something you ever thought of? And she's like, not really, never thought of that. Mm-hmm. And then, came back to her again a couple weeks ago, and she's like, you know what? Yeah, actually, I think I am interested in that. Because she never thought you would, there's the thought process isn't there. So that actually, to me, makes it even better that she's first, because it's not somebody who's just been trying and trying and trying and trying, and somebody was like, all right, let's just let this chick do it so she can be the first one and be done. It's more of a, man, this chick really knows what I keep saying chick, I probably can't say that, but this girl knows what she's doing. Let's go after her, and that's what they did. That's what's encouraging to me, is that the people were turning around. And apparently, I didn't know this, but when the Pacers were part of the ABA, they actually had a woman GM. Nancy Leonard was her name.
I did not know that.
Yep, she was. So the Pacers have always been the progressive organization in the NBA, which you wouldn't think from the way that they're ran or anything like that. They're very conservative, but
yeah, I think Indiana is the state that still has the highest number of Ku Klux Klan members.
Is that for real?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure a few years ago I heard that. So that has nothing to do with basketball. So
or women in basketball
right.
or anything like that. And of course, it is what it is, and that that takes you back to all the you hope, like I said, you hope that it's someday that this is just something where instead of saying, wow, she's the first woman to ever get it, that it's more of a, all right, what can this girl do?
This is just another person,
getting
another job.
Same way, it's what the Rooney Rule was put in place for, to get these interviews rolling with minorities. So eventually, it's not, well, we gotta interview a black guy or a Mexican or whatever. Mm-hmm. More of, eventually, it's like, oh man, look at all that we missed out. All right, now we hire Mike Tomlin, we hire Marvin Lewis, and nobody's saying, oh, that black guy got a job. No, it's that football guy got a job.
Right.
And I think that the Rooney Rule has done, it hasn't done what it was set out to do fully, I'm sure, but it has made it to where when a black guy gets hired, you don't talk about it anymore. You don't talk about it like, oh, a black guy got the job. I don't feel like it. When Tomlin got the job in Pittsburgh, it was more like, all right, is this the guy that's going to, is he's going to replace Bill Cowher? Can this guy do it? I'm sure there's some things about it, being black guy or not. There's always going to be that talk involved, which at some point that's got to go away, and that's what we're talking about. That's where you want the woman being, not being a woman, just being a person. Mm-hmm. A black coach, not being a black coach, not being Ron Rivera, a Mexican coach, just being a coach. Right? Is Ron Rivera Mexican? I don't know what he is.
I'm not sure, honestly.
He's some kind of minority. But anyway, it's one of those things where you hope that someday you don't need those rules in place like the Rooney Rule, or, they don't have well, I guess they do have rules in different facets of life where you got to interview women and stuff like that. Someday it's just going to be, hey, that chick knows what she's doing. Don't say chick. Stop saying chick, man.
Sorry about
chick.
that.
I'm bringing myself all the way back. See, I would be that old white dude owning a team. Like, look, I'm an old white guy. I'm going to hire an old white guy that makes sense. Nah, that's not how I really would be. I'm just saying I got to stop saying chick. I apologize. Hopefully this chick can do what she sets out to do.
But that's exactly that's exactly the whole thing is it's been a certain way for a long time. If you grow up saying, oh, look at that chick, or hey, what's that chick doing, or whatever.
In a bad way.
Right, yeah. But you nowadays it's not necessarily as acceptable, and it's because we're trying to get to a point where everybody is just a person. Everybody's just a person. It doesn't matter whether they're gay or straight or black or white or male or female or whatever. It's everybody's a person. Everybody has the same opportunities, and the same privileges and the same everything. We're a long way from that. Sure. But little steps like this
baby steps, brother, baby steps.
I wish I lived in a time that we were a lot further along, but I'm
so
try
what's
not
next?
to harp on
so
that.
That's my question is, what's next? So what is that next step? Is it the transgender? Is that the next step? Like, when's the first transgender person going to be a basketball coach? Because once again, I'll pull you right back into a stereotype in this case. The way that I grew up was always, oh, well, why would a woman want to coach men in basketball? Mm-hmm. That just doesn't work. Well, I mean, that's the same way I would feel about like a transgender. I feel like they're just not basketball people. How do I know that? That's a terrible thing to say.
Right,
but they could easily be, and you never know. The most popular transgender person ever was the best athlete of his generation.
Yeah,
Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner,
Bruce/Caitlyn Jenner. Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's the exact same thing to me. Transgender.
Then you can't say chick though.
Fluid,
you say
fluid gender. No, you just say person.
That guy. I mean, it's that girl.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll figure that out.
Whatever they identify with, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just coach, or just GM,
perfect,
or just hey Skip, or whatever. When there's a
I keep coming up. I'm about to say Miss, but it's whatever it is. Sure,
whatever. As long as we understand that everybody's a person and everybody should have the same opportunity to, follow their dreams and work in, have opportunities to get jobs that they want and have opportunities to live where they want and use restrooms where they want or whatever.
I don't know. That's a whole other topic.
We don't have to.
Let's just talk about them getting coaching jobs. I don't need to talk about. That's a whole other topic, man.
Okay,
that's
right. We don't.
I don't even know. I don't even know where to get into.
This is a social issue thing, but it's sports
when it comes
specific.
To the sports world,
specific.
Congratulations to Kelly. We're happy for you. Hopefully now my daughters can be head coaches somewhere. I think that or maybe, GMs,
maybe
or
she
presidents.
Will. Maybe she will be the GM that hires your daughters to work as I don't know
a ball girl,
the head coach. No, head coach or her assistant GM or
there you go,
whatever.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know if I want my daughter hanging around a bunch of basketball players, man. I feel like there's a lot of horn dogs in there. I don't need nobody staring at my little girl like that.
Well, there are horn dogs everywhere, man. I'm sorry. It's just going to happen.
All right, so
they'll hire you and I as security to protect them, though.
Yeah, because I would be a great hire for security. I'll talk somebody down. Hell, that's all I would do. I got nothing else. That's my weapon of choice.
I'd be even worse because I don't have that, so...
Oh, goodness. Well, speaking of the NBA and it's Christmas time, another thing that the NBA does right is Christmas.
Oh, my gosh.
The NFL has got Thanksgiving and, Thanksgiving football. It's what it's about. The NBA goes one step further. Christmas Day in the NBA has become the biggest day in the NBA because the NBA puts the best teams playing each other on that night. On that day.
Yes.
If I just wish that football would get that part done. It's always got the Cowboys are always in it. The Packers or the Bears or whatever, however or the Lions. Like, get off of that. Let's have a rematch of the Super Bowl every year on Thanksgiving. Let's do something like that. The NBA does it right, dude. I mean, there's some big games coming up next week.
Let me just tell you what the schedule looks like.
Let's hear the lineup.
Okay. Bucks Knicks. Now the Knicks aren't very good, but they
way to start it off. After I just talked it up. No,
but they are without their best player. Kristaps Porzingis is still recovering from his ACL injury, so if he was there, that would be a different story. But anyway, the Knicks are really the only team that are not very good that are playing on today, but they're playing in Madison Square Garden, which is kind of a big deal. Right. So. Bucks Knicks at noon. 3:00 is Oklahoma City Thunder, Houston Rockets.
That, of course, is a huge game. I mean, you're talking 2 and 3 in the West.
Yep. 5:30 is Sixers Celtics, who I thought at the end of during the playoffs last year was easily, without question, going to be the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
Now Toronto is going to be that team, but this is still 2-3 again in the East. So you're taking the 2 of the top 3 teams in both divisions are playing each other now.
Correct. Then you have the best player in the entire league playing against the best team in the entire league, the Lakers and Warriors.
LeBron James, greatest player in the league right now, against the second best player in the league probably, and third best player in the league.
Yeah, Steph Curry number 2 and KD number 3. And then before we have a chance to argue about that, I
am not arguing about that at all. I'm good with that. You want to take KD and put him at 3. I'm good with Steph there. But now all of a sudden, KD's probably going to put Kyrie up there though. KD's probably going to say it's going to go Kyrie,
LeBron,
LeBron, Steph.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
in KD's head. That's how it goes.
Right.
But in every normal person, it's LeBron, and then 2 or 3 spots that are empty, and then
Well, to you, to you who would drink LeBron James bathwater, that is the case for you. Anyway,
straight after an overtime game.
that's disgusting. I remember when you once told me that you would eat a bowl of cereal that is just a bowl of LeBron James scabs with some milk on it. You would eat that. I remember specifically when you told me that.
I don't remember saying that,
that's
but
really
I wouldn't
gross.
doubt it. I wouldn't
That's
doubt
really
it.
gross.
LeBron James scabs. I feel like I've tried to grab one when he walked by before.
Holy cow, that's so gross. The last game of the night at 10:30 is the Blazers and Jazz. Both teams very good
Again,
teams.
2 playoff teams going
Yes.
at it.
Yes.
Why can't the NFL get it right on Thanksgiving? This is great. The lineup, there's only 1 out of 5 games that's okay. But you still get the Bucks in that game, which you get to see Giannis in Madison Square Gardens. That's
Yes.
always fun.
So the NBA sets Christmas Day up this way every year. They market the heck out of it. They do a great job of that, like they always do. They have uniforms made specifically for Christmas Day uniforms, which are always really cool, usually really cool, for those teams playing. And then of course you can buy those and stuff, so they're going to make money, of course, off of those things, which is great. This year they're making it even bigger. This year, Christmas Day is the first day you will be able to vote for the All-Star game this year, which is very cool.
Yeah, that
very
is cool. There you go. So it brings a little extra into it.
Yes. And by the way, speaking of the All-Star game, we can go back to, I've said it several times, I think we agree on it. I'm very passionate about this, that fans should not be voting for All-Stars, for Pro Bowls, for Halls of Fame. They should not be doing that.
Hold on. I don't necessarily agree that they shouldn't be voting at all. I believe that there should be how the Pro Bowl does it now. I like the way they do it, even though somehow Brady is currently leading as the quarterback, and Andrew Luck's not in the Pro Bowl at this moment in time, which is a little ridiculous.
Shady.
But besides that, you have coaches vote, players vote, and fans vote. All 3 of those are worth 33% of the vote.
Okay.
I got no problem with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Let the fans vote. That's fun. But don't let me be the sole man in charge of this, because I don't know nothing about some of these guys.
It's fun. I love voting for the All-Star game. I love voting for, I don't have a vote, but you can vote. If you're a Major League Baseball, there's the At Bat app that you can, like Major League Baseball's big app. If you are a member of this, it's the fans, I forget what it's like, the fans At Bat something or other, but you're like an exclusive club or whatever, and they send you questionnaires periodically, and they send you the Hall of Fame ballot. When the writers are voting on the Hall of Fame ballot, which is who votes, the fans, you can choose you get up to 10 votes like everybody else who you think should be in the Hall of Fame. It doesn't count for anything, but it wants to know who you. So anyway, that stuff is really fun because I like to get deep into it and look at everybody's numbers and look at who's has the best first half in whatever sport it is.
Oh, we know. You get your Bible out, you break it open, you start separating everything.
Man,
you got columns and categories and rows
and
everything.
I have notebooks at home full of that stuff, and just doing it for fun. Before we ever did this podcast,
I believe it. Why not?
So anyway. So it's good to know then that the Pro Bowl does it that way, and I think that's much closer to what it should be.
I'm down for that.
The NBA does that. The last few years they changed that too. So the fans vote counts for 50%, and then the coaches and players each get votes, and those are 25%. Okay, so
I still don't think that the fans should have that much, but
I agree with you.
But I'm okay with it. They're moving in the right direction.
A percentage, yes.
Right, they're moving in the right direction.
So that's now. We could talk about whether do you like the format they're doing now? This will be the second year, I believe.
I love this.
You do?
Where they take the top 2 vote getters, is that how it
Correct.
is? Top 2 vote getters.
Well, the top 2 vote getters in each conference.
They pick the team. They pick their own team out of everybody else that was that was voted in.
Right.
So you could literally have Steph Curry playing against Kevin Durant.
Yes.
And that's fun. I enjoy that. I like that. That's kind of cool.
I think it's odd, though, that you still vote based on conference. So your votes, you still get 3 front court players and 2 back court players. You vote on that per conference, but then whoever makes it from each of those conferences, then it's just an open pool, and then those guys pick from there. I think you've got to line it up better than that. Or go back to conference.
So what's your option then? I don't mind it. It still keeps your half and half East and West deal, but then everybody can just pick from there. But you're still getting half East Coast, half West Coast. Well, not Coast, but half Eastern Conference, half Western Conference. I enjoy that. But if you don't like it, what will be your fix to that then?
Don't vote based on conference then. Just make it a wide open thing. If you have to change the way you set the teams up because the Eastern Conference isn't nearly as good and the Western Conference wins it every year, then set the vote up that way. If you're just gonna throw out East and West in the game, then don't set up the voting that way. Just have it wide open. You get 6 front court players and 4 back court players. That's who you vote on. That's the pool. Guess what? If 8 of the 10 guys are from the Western Conference, okay, that's the way it is right now. And then the reserves are voted on by the coaches, and that's what I like the best, because that's when you get the guys that are most deserving in there.
Right.
It's the fans that vote in the Dirk Nowitzkis this year or something like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I don't know. There's still some work to do, I think, on that, but. The whole entire weekend, All-Star Weekend, is another, like Christmas. It's a huge. Those are like the 2 big in-season week or days or weekends for the NBA. They do it so well, both of those things. I'm so excited for Christmas Day NBA basketball for 13 hours.
Exactly. It's fun. It's one of the few times that I think the nation. The parts of the nation that aren't big basketball people still this is, it's getting to be like the NFL, where even if you don't like the NFL, on Thanksgiving you watch football. And I think that Christmas is getting close to that. It's getting close. It's not there yet.
I hope so.
It's not there yet, especially in a place like where we're from, Cincinnati. It's not there, but it's getting there. It's getting there, I think. And it's my favorite. It's my favorite. I love it. It's not. It's better to me. It's better than Thanksgiving football because of the fact that you have an opportunity to actually watch good teams playing good teams.
Yes, I agree with you. Yep. And Grandma, if you're listening, I'm going to be at your house. I don't know if you guys are going to make it or not on Christmas Day, but it's kind of an optional thing. I'm going to be there. If you're listening, I'd love to tune into ABC or ESPN and
I think she
just
could
have
do
it
that
on
for
in
you.
the background.
I
Just
think
have
she'd
it on
do
the
that for you.
background.
Although I feel like Grandma and Grandpa Al probably are the kind of people that like to turn on that fake wood fire scene on the TV, where the cat walks by every now and then and there's a little dog playing. I enjoy that. I think that's kind of a funny little deal. But
they have a real fireplace, don't they?
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. It's funny.
Yeah.
Come on,
I
man.
gotcha.
It's just funny. There it is. Wow. There you go. Shoot. So anyway, speaking of Christmas, Christmas is coming up.
It is.
Let's make that. We're gonna have a little fun. We don't have a ton of sports to talk today. That's the little bit I think that we got. We might have some more that we throw in sporadically, but I have a question for you when it comes to Christmas.
Okay.
Live tree or fake tree?
That's one of the easiest questions I've answered in a while.
Yeah?
And it's so easily a fake tree for me.
Oh.
So easily a fake tree.
I knew
for
that
me.
you were going to be a fake tree guy.
Yeah.
I'm a live tree guy. I got to have a live tree.
You have a live tree that looks like it was cut down from a forest that is millions of years old. It's the biggest tree I've ever seen in a house.
It's a little over 10 foot. It's not that big, but it's
the biggest one I've ever seen in a house.
Yeah. Well, listen, hey. Go big or go home, brother.
It
It might have to hit the ceiling.
Go big at home.
You might have to hit the ceiling and bend over a little bit, put the star on sideways. You got to do what you got to do.
That's what happened in Elf.
That's right.
What they did.
That's exactly right. Got to do what you got to do, man. I love going and getting a real tree and picking that tree out, and the boy loves it.
Let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Are you cleaning up needles constantly off the floor?
Yeah.
I
sweep constantly anyway. I got a dog, so just sweeping up some needles now.
Does the dog bother with the tree?
Not at all. Never touches it.
Do the kids tug at the tree?
They mess around with the ornaments every now and then.
They know enough though.
By the time Christmas gets here, all of the ornaments are above 4 foot tall.
I gotcha.
Because they can't reach that high.
I gotcha. So you have to keep it watered all the time, basically.
Yeah.
So you have to like keep watering it, or
in
you
the
just
beginning I put water in it every day for the first probably week, and then it starts sucking up the water a little bit slower.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's every few days, and then by the time it's like after Christmas to New Year's, I probably won't get any water at all.
Because if you don't, it dries out, and it's a fire hazard.
Well, it's probably a fire hazard as it sits there now.
It is, but
and it's already it's even if it dries out, it is what it is. Just the needles fall off faster. It still stays green.
So you got a lot of cleaning up to do.
Yeah.
What about sap? You get like sap and stuff on you? None of that? Okay.
No.
I guess it depends on what kind of tree it is.
No, I'm good.
If it's a Douglas fir or...
we're a Fraser fir family.
Fraser fir?
We're a Fraser fir family.
Okay,
yep.
Fraser fir.
They got a little softer needles, so
okay.
Big time Fraser fir family.
Fraser's a little softer than Douglas.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. Douglas fir was the only evergreen tree I could think of.
Sure. It's the most popular.
Oh, is it? Okay. That's probably why then.
It's the most popular poplar.
Poplar. Yeah,
fir.
There's no U.
Most poplar. There's a poplar tree.
Is there really?
Yeah. Poplar. The poplar.
Look at you botanist.
No, well, it's wood that I sell, so it's an
okay.
interior.
Yeah,
they use it for interior trim.
You are sort of in the business.
It's one of the
aren't you?
softest hardwoods you could ever get.
Hey,
There
nice. What do you know? What exact wood is used on basketball
everything
floor?
on
No,
basketball court?
floor?
Oh, I would assume some kind of. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
If it's oak or I would assume some kind
Either
of.
way, it's
probably.
waxed over like 50 times.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it even matters that much, but it's got to have a little give.
Yeah, you got to.
But it's got to be solid. You can't have dead spots.
I think the dead spots more have to do with what's underneath. You know what the worst place to play? You remember playing at the sports mall?
Of course.
You would be dribbling, and then all of a sudden the ball wouldn't bounce at all.
Well, that's like the worst kind of floor you can have for
kind of
basketball.
floor is
It's like
that?
this synthetic rubber kind of like weird. I don't even know. It was a mix of several kinds of.
I could almost dunk if I jumped first.
If you jumped first,
like it was almost like a trampoline.
Oh, I gotcha. It was a little bouncy, but it was still hard enough to hurt when you fell. And you would get up there, you'd get
Hard enough to hurt when you fell.
You'd get undercut, you get elbowed, you get knocked down, because I'll tell you, there are some rough folks up there that play. And
it was fun though,
and it was fun for a while, and then it got pretty unfun. But because the officials wouldn't have any control over all that stuff,
halftime officials weren't even there.
Yep.
All right, Christmas. So, when do you first put your Christmas stuff up?
Normally, either not at all or like a week before.
Man, what a
This year though.
Yeah, okay. So does it have to do if there's a woman in your life or not?
No.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
No, because most Christmases I've not had a woman in my life, so it doesn't really matter. No, but this year, for whatever reason, maybe I'm getting older. I'm getting a little more sentimental. I was just feeling Christmas, man. I love Christmas.
Christmas
I'll tell
is
you,
the best.
I love walking in the store. It's a little silly when it's October and or November 1st and you walk in the store and Christmas is 2 months away and everything's all set up. But at the same time, especially once you get into December, I love walking into the stores and walking all over the place, and there's Christmas decorations. Everything's all lit up. I like that stuff now, man.
Everybody's irritated and pissed off and stressed out. It's great. It's that time of year.
But I'm not. I get a little worried. I will let myself worry too much about buying gifts for people and buying thoughtful gifts and all that kind of stuff, and I fail at that every year. But
if you think about it and you buy somebody something, that's all that matters. It don't matter what it is, man.
Yeah.
We're grown. We're grown. If you're buying a
Theoretically,
grown up a present, if you ever buy a grown up a present and they're disappointed, you should just take the present away from them or smack them or something like that. You're a grown person. You can buy anything that you want. If you want it, you probably already got it.
Right.
So if I'm buying you something out of the kindness of my heart, don't look at me or go, "Oh, a pen." Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
I thought that pen was perfect for you. You should be like, "Man, you got me a pen. Thank you. I appreciate it." That's a nice gesture.
And I think most people have the wherewithal to do that. But for me, I'm still gonna overanalyze whether you actually like it or whether you're pretending.
I'm gonna tell you right
Because
now,
in a
there's
lot of
no
cases, you're
pretending for me. Anytime you give me a lump of coal, and I'm gonna be happy that you thought enough about me to get me a present.
something.
It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care what it is. It's not faking that you're happy. I'm happy, genuinely happy that you think about me.
Yeah. Now I'm with you. Do you feel like you're a good gift giver though?
I don't do much gift buying.
Okay.
Much props
All
to my
right.
wife. She does an amazing
Speaking of having
job.
a woman in your life
She
during
does
Christmas.
an amazing job every Christmas. I don't have to worry about too much of anything. I got 2 or 3 items I have to buy. I just bought one of the 2 today on the old Amazon.
You got to buy something for her, right?
Yeah, I've got that one down already. Okay. So yeah. So I've only got one more gift. And,
right,
and
I saw it. It's
one.
parked out front. I saw it.
You saw it. It's parked out front.
Yeah.
Oh, a car.
Brand new Lamborghini. That's beautiful, man.
Well,
I hope she's not listening. I just gave it away.
Yeah, it's got them suicide doors on it. You know how I do.
Okay, so you feel like
Put them Lamborghini doors on the Escalade.
Okay, I do not know that reference. I'm sorry, but
no, it's 50 Cent. Never
okay, 50 Cent. All right, all right. Or as I call him, 50 cents.
50 cents.
Yes.
He just forgot an S.
Sometimes I call him $half.
Better than Hey Penny.
And I emphasize the R because if he's a rapper and his name is $half, it's going to be $half. But I say $half because I want to
proper Englishize them.
I want to use proper English as much as possible all the time, but I also want to overemphasize my
whiteness,
my age.
You try to act like the old guy. You're the old white guy. So how's that $half?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he has that song about his that birthday song or song about his birthday.
It's about your birthday.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it goes.
Your birthday.
That's exactly it. It's exactly what he sounds like too when he sings it. So anyway, okay. So you don't have to worry too much. So
no, she takes care of everything.
Okay.
When I go out and I struggle. I'm with you. If I had to buy everybody a present, I would struggle and I'd put it off like I used to do all the time because I want to buy somebody something.
I want
meaningful.
It to be special. I want it to be
exactly.
special.
I want you when you open it. I want your eyes to open, dude. I want you to be excited, like
genuinely
oh my God,
excited.
That is awesome. I'm telling you. Anytime somebody gets me a gift, it's genuine excitement. I just want anybody out there that's ever bought me a gift and said, "Oh man, he didn't really like that." No, I genuinely am excited.
That's awesome. Look, I've gotten gifts that I wasn't really that excited about, but I tried to make sure I didn't act like I wasn't that excited.
I've got like lotion before. I'm like, man, that is. Thank you.
Sure,
I got a wind chime one time.
I'll spread this all over these scales, man.
This is great. So I worked at a bank for a little while, okay, and we did a Secret Santa. All right, so we got Secret Santa going at the bank, and this girl pulls my name out, right, and it was like $5 or $10. I think we did $10, whatever, and so I get it's Christmas, everybody passes out their presents they got. I got this UC guy. It was when UC was in the Orange Bowl against Florida. I got him an Orange Bowl T-shirt. I was like, hey, he's a big UC guy. It's a pretty cool T-shirt.
Good call.
Yeah, good work, right? So they
got blown out.
I'm pretty excited, right? I'm like, all right, cool. Let's see what somebody got me. I'm a pretty outgoing. I feel like you get me anything goofy. I open up this box. There's a box. I open up the wrapping. It's a box, and it says it's got like a little $5 sign on it, from the dollar store or whatever. And it says on it, and it's a wind chime. It says it's a wind chime, and it's you hang it outside of your house, I guess.
You're like, okay, what's actually in this box?
I was like, oh, cool. See what's in here. I opened it up, and it was a wind chime.
What? Okay, nothing about. Now I know you very well, but maybe it's not fair. But nothing about you says wind chime. I mean, I would never ever think to get you unless it's like a Reds wind chime or a Xavier wind chime.
She realized at the last second. She forgot to get me something. Started running out of the house and was like, "Ooh, there's that wind chime I got 5 years ago from Beth
Family Dollar."
Yeah. I'm gonna grab that thing and wrap it real quick. Go give it to Chris and tell him that I got it for his. Your wife would love that.
Okay, my wife's not in this white elephant thing. My wife didn't get this other guy the T-shirt.
So funny. So that was one of the funniest. But I was still very happy. I was very very, very, very excited that somebody thought about me to get me a wind chime.
So that's the
worst gift I've ever gotten.
Okay. All right.
What's the worst gift you've ever gotten?
Worst gift I've ever gotten.
I know we just said that we genuinely like when people buy us a gift, and you should always genuinely be happy. But what's the worst gift you've ever gotten?
I've gotten some stuff I know in the past in like white elephant gift exchanges.
Well,
like that.
No, that doesn't count. When somebody actually has your name or personally puts to Adam from Dingleberry.
I mean, I've gotten.
Be careful now, don't you? He's starting to think. He's like, ooh, who listens to this podcast?
I've gotten. I feel like clothes in the past that I was like, oh man, thank you so much. I will never wear this. Is what I'm saying in my head.
Thanks for this turtleneck.
Thank you, Dingleberry. Thank you for the. Thank you, Dingleberry, for this shirt that doesn't have a collar, but it has buttons, and then it's also has like a slit down the side or something like
a quarter zip.
Yeah, quarter zip. I'm not a quarter zip guy at all. I've gotten a quarter zip before.
God love your mom. Mom gives me quarter zip sweaters almost every year. I love them now. I wear them all the time, but not all the time. I take that back. I don't wear them all the time.
You're a dad. It doesn't matter what you wear now.
It's exactly right. It's the truth. I look the same all the time. I'm in gray.
Yeah. Oh, I hear that. Black.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of black.
All right, what's your favorite gift? Best gift you ever got?
I was trying to think about this beforehand. It's really hard. I mean, I feel like it was probably something when I was a kid. Like I loved, for years we played with starting lineups, which were the little figurines, the sports figurines. When I got baseball cards, those were kind of the gifts that I got most excited about.
Yeah.
Things that I would ask Santa for, and they would show up. I don't know if there's any one specific thing that I feel like, man, that was the one thing. That was the thing that I remember that I loved the most.
It's hard. What
was it for you?
I don't know. The best gift I ever got on Christmas, I had so many unbelievable gifts. I feel like they're all the same. They're all equally great that somebody thought about getting me a gift. No, I'm kidding.
Boy, you talk about me being politically
seriously.
correct.
No, I don't know. There was, I remember one time when I was a kid, I still got this boombox upstairs, with the 2 cassettes, on it, so you can record one. And it's got the CD player up on top. I was probably 11 years old, 12 years old, and the box is there and doesn't have anybody's name on it. And I just opened it. It's Christmas. I opened it. And my dad looks at me and goes, "Oh, man, your mom got a new boombox. That is awesome." And I'm like, oh, man. This is really a bummer. I really wanted that when I opened that. That was really cool. It's like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. 2 cassette boombox, dude, with detachable speakers. Remember the detachable speakers?
I do.
When them first came out?
Yep.
I was like, man.
I remember when them
what
did.
A bummer. He waited till all the Christmas presents were when them did. He waited till all the Christmas presents were opened. And I am just like, yay. Awesome. A box of baseball cards. I love baseball cards. Oh, awesome.
Starting
lineup. Great. Hey, Ken Griffey Jr. starting lineup. Woo.
Yeah, wrestler.
Man, yeah. Hey, Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Man, that boombox is cool. Finally, he was like, "Oh, I'm just messing with you. It's for you. That's yours." And I was, yeah. It was the greatest day of my life. So I'm going to say that might be my favorite because of the anticipation.
Was that the boombox when you were still living at home and we tried to lift? One of the few times we tried to start lifting, and we lifted and we listened to Pantera and lifted like, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks, and then we stopped or whatever.
Yeah.
Was that boombox?
Yeah, probably. I guarantee it. Dude, it's the only boombox I ever owned. So yeah,
nice. Okay,
definitely.
All right. What about your favorite? Because look, a perfect Christmas to me is if I get a bunch of gifts for a bunch of people, and they're the best gift that person, every one of those people has ever gotten, and I feel so good about the thought I put into it.
I kick some Christmas butt,
and I don't have to get anything. I don't care about getting anything. I really truly don't. I get much more of a thrill out of, and I'm not saying this to be a nice guy or anything. I seriously feel a lot more fulfillment out of seeing someone enjoy a present that I give them than opening a gift, and it's even if it's something I love.
I hear you, Saint Nick.
I feel like you are the same. Yes. Is there a gift that you got someone that you're like, this is the gift?
Oh, that's easy,
I feel
dude.
good.
That's
about
easy.
This.
When I got the ring, for Christmas.
For Christmas.
Oh, for Christmas. Oh man.
Yeah, sure.
Dude,
if you get married,
man. See, I always ended up I would end up waiting until the night before Christmas and get like a magazine and cut stuff out of it and wrap it up and give it to my mom. Like, this is what I'm getting you. I just couldn't figure anything out up until last night. So here's a picture of a sweater,
Shania Twain
or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know about that. That's a tough one. I'd have to think about that one for a while.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the best Christmas present I ever gave someone is. What about you?
I was thinking about it, and I think it's probably the year I got my brother tickets to Conan O'Brien and airfare to go there.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got plane tickets and tickets to go. Well, I mean, the tickets for Conan's show. This was in 2005, so he was still on late night, but he was still in New York, so those tickets were free, but I had to get them like 6 or 7 months in advance.
Right.
So that's the date I got them for. It was like in June something, June or July, but I bought plane tickets for us to both go so we could see. My brother and I are both big Conan fans.
So you went to New York?
I think that one. We went to New York. Yeah.
I've never been to New York.
Yeah, really?
No, never been to New York.
Oh,
well, I've been in the state of New York, but never been to
you
New
and
York.
I were in the state of New York
City. Never been to New York City.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. I got another one here for you. Man, I had one sitting on the tip just a second ago. Now I done forgot it. What else? What else Christmas is there? Oh, I know what it was. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, man, that's hard. Oh, I said hard. I guess it has to be Die Hard.
Die Hard?
No, I'm just kidding.
Cracks me up. You're the third person today that talked about Die Hard.
I say that jokingly because I know people argue about whether it's a Christmas movie or not. I can't say one way or the other because I've never seen Die Hard.
That's even...
Is that worse? Is that worse?
That might be worse. That might be worse.
I've never seen Die Hard. Sorry, Bruce Willis. I don't know why. I just have never seen it. My favorite Christmas movie, though, seriously, is I don't know. It's so I can't make decisions.
I mean,
Elf.
Elf is awesome.
Elf is way
obviously
up there.
You got the classics, the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
It's those.
Those right
Rudolph,
there.
Frosty.
Yep. The
Charlie
Kris
Brown
Kringle
Christmas.
with Burgermeister Meisterburger.
I don't think I ever got into that one.
It's all the same thing. You know what? Burgermeister Meisterburger, who doesn't let anybody in town
doesn't even
have
sound
toys
familiar to me.
And then Kris Kringle is a little orphan, and the Kringles, the little elf Kringles, they adopt him, and he makes toys.
This is the first time I'm hearing this
Oh,
story.
my gosh. You don't know Burgermeister Meisterburger?
No. And another, I don't, and another movie that is super duper duper popular at Christmas time that just was not in my arsenal growing up. I've now seen the whole thing a few times now, but just recently is A Christmas Story.
What?
Yeah, like where he shoots his eye out with the gun and he gets his tongue stuck on the thing.
No, that's a great one.
I did not grow up watching that movie.
My uncle, because it's 24 hours on TBS.
Yes, it is.
And my uncle Paul turns it on the second he wakes up on Christmas. And it is on all day long until it's over at whatever time it ends. It never ends. It's on consistently at the house.
That's cool.
Yes.
That's very cool.
Big Christmas Story fan. I like Christmas Story. That's a good one. That dude, the dad on Christmas Story, cracks me up. Let's see. What else
Your
is
favorite Christmas movie, though?
Mine, I think it's probably one of those like Rudolph or that whole claymation or whatever that is.
The
that
Rudolph
whole deal.
claymation, right.
Yeah. I think that's up there, you know. Land of Misfit Toys.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm just a misfit.
Okay.
I was trying to think of how that song goes, and I was going to keep it going, but I would have said the words wrong.
Oh, is it another 50 Cent song?
No, it's on the Rudolph song.
Oh, by
I'm just a mess.
by Mr. Mr.
the dude
Burgerhead
wants-
or
no,
whoever
the
is
dude that wants to be a dentist, the elf that wants to be a dentist.
Oh, Herbie.
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 Yes.
I know that one. See,
a
but
good
I don't know. I don't know McBurger.
I'm not going to talk
or
about Burgermeister Burger
yeah,
anymore.
The
I'm not gonna do it.
Hamburglar or
not gonna
Ronald
do it.
McDonald or
I'm not going to talk about him anymore.
Was
until you watch it.
Grimace
I'm going
in
to give
that?
you I'm going to give you the DVD to take it home tonight.
God. I'm not. I don't have a DVD
There's
player.
a new,
yes,
yes,
yes. I don't have a DVD player.
There's a new. How do you not have a DVD player?
Because mine broke, and I actually asked Santa for one.
Nice. All right, so there's a new one out there that I suggest if you got a kid and you're listening to check this bad boy out. It is called Naughty or Nice, Laney. It's called man. Now I said it, I feel terrible. It's a funny show, and I'm gonna think of it. Prep and Landing. That's what it's called. Prep and Landing. Prep and Landing.
Never heard of it.
That's a good one. I'm not gonna talk about it. Most people probably haven't seen it. Prep and Landing. Great cartoon. Check it out.
Another one that I've never seen. Alex Cole just mentioned it. The Jim Carrey Grinch.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
I've never seen the Jim Carrey.
It didn't get good reviews, but I enjoyed it.
The original Grinch from whatever the '60s or
that
whatever.
was awesome.
Absolutely
Definitely
one of
on
my
the
favorites.
top.
Never saw the
always,
Jim Carrey one.
always in the arsenal. You know another one that's really good? Charlie Brown Christmas.
Love Charlie Brown.
Charlie
Christmas.
Brown Christmas is always good.
For a long time, I had a tree similar to the one that he had in there because I've always had a bad tree. But
Just use the same tree over every year.
I
until
did
lost
because it
every
was
needle.
artificial. But now last year I got a little bit better tree. This is the best my tree's ever looked this year.
Yeah.
Best it's ever
Well, you
looked.
got into Christmas this year.
I did.
Good for
I
you.
did. I'm pumped about it.
I'm
man.
happy
telling
for you, man.
This is the first year I've ever gotten the entire week between Christmas and New Year's off as well.
Really?
I this is my first year at a new company. They give us all. Now it's made my job incredibly hard for the last couple weeks because
Sure.
I have to plan around that. But I'm really excited.
Nice.
I had a vacation day to burn by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Took Friday off this week. So tomorrow's my last day.
So you're
until
off Friday,
January.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
Yes.
Wow. That's a
Yes.
12-dayer.
Yep.
Good work.
I'm excited, man.
Wow, 12 days.
I'm excited. I'm going to do some relaxing.
Relaxing. Good for you, man. Let me know how that is. Let me know how much fun relaxing is.
I
haven't
will.
got to do that in a while.
I've got a question for you, though.
Let's go.
Let's talk about favorite Christmas traditions. You talked about the one where
Mm-hmm.
where Uncle Paul watches the whole 24 hours of Christmas Story.
Yep.
We talked about a couple other ones. Do you have a favorite Christmas or a couple of favorite Christmas traditions?
Favorite Christmas traditions. The baking cookies. I don't do it, but the kids baking cookies. That's always fun. I make sure that my son puts as much icing on all the cookies as he can, so when I get them, I can eat super duper icing cookies.
That's a great plan by you.
That's always a fun deal. My favorite Christmas tradition is picking out the tree, man.
Okay.
I love going and getting a tree, a day or two after Thanksgiving. This year we did it Sunday after Thanksgiving. Get that tree. I love going and picking out the tree. That's probably my favorite part.
Now, do you go to like a tree farm or do you go to one of like the Western Hills Plaza? They've got a
We don't
thing
go.
right
I've never
out,
been to a tree farm.
Okay.
But
you don't cut it down yourself like Paul Bunyan or anything. You don't carry an axe on your shoulder and wear plaid and overalls and stuff.
No, but that
No?
sounds like that would be fun. We always talk about how I'd like to do that someday. Someday I'd like to go and do that. Go cut it, but it's got to snow. It's got to snow. I'm not doing it unless it's snowing.
Okay, you want it to be cold and messy and
snowing all over the place.
Man.
The kids freezing and probably whining and crying, and I'm gonna be in the middle of a forest, like
And you're going to love it.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I mean, that sounds like my worst nightmare, and you're going to love it. If Hacksaw Jim Duggan was there, if I knew he was going to be there, I would deal with all that other stuff.
He makes his own 2x4s.
Because he goes and chops down his own trees.
Out of pine trees. He just goes, finds a pine tree, cuts it down, makes his own 2x4s. You ever want to find Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Cut a tree down for Christmas.
USA. 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 USA.
Oh, goodness.
One of my favorite Christmas traditions, I think you will appreciate this one.
All right.
As we were growing up, so our mothers are sisters.
Yes.
They were each one of
7.
Was it 7? 7. Every year they had a Christmas card contest where they would collect, see who got the most amount of Christmas cards, the biggest number of Christmas cards.
I got 2 more today. I'm up to 18.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's been very slow for me this year because I've never sent out my own Christmas cards.
Ours will be mailed out tomorrow, so you'll have another one coming.
Okay.
But listen, I'm going to tell you right now, as a guy who sends out a lot of Christmas cards, if you're not family and you're not responding with a Christmas card, you're going to start getting cut off the list. I try not to send more than 60 out. This year we got 80.
Wow.
I won't send 80 out.
80.
We usually send 60 out usually, but
60 blows me away.
I got 80 this year, and we'll probably get we'll have some extras, but
wow.
We'll send a few extras out. This is the last year, all you guys out there getting cards. Not family. If you're not family and you get a card from me and you don't send me a card, might as well forget it. This is it. Last year.
Man,
enjoy.
Thank God I'm family.
Enjoy. That's right.
I'm glad I'm family because I'm going to tell you something. You're not getting a card from me. I don't send anybody cards. If I had a family or something, I'd probably send cards. I don't know. I don't know. But that the tradition, like in my house, I think you guys did the same thing. We had like a big doorway.
Yeah.
That didn't have doors on it. That went from
led
the
down
living
the
room
hall
to the
or
kitchen or something.
or-
Right. Yeah. And I have that in my house now. So as I started getting Christmas cards in the last week or two, I started hanging them up and around the doorway, around the door frame.
Yep.
And I was like, man, this is a tradition I love.
Yes.
Even if I don't have that many.
It's awesome.
I just love putting them up in that space around the doorway and just looking at them.
We do the same. So I
it.
got them going across the when you walk in from the living room into the dining room. There's a little, not an archway, but a little break point right there with a beam going across, and that's where all mine are hanging.
Stick them up there. Nice. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Christmas traditions.
Yep.
That even if I don't get that many, I'm gonna keep going myself.
Yep.
Even if I live at home by myself, nobody else sees them or anything like that.
It's all right. You gotta hang them up, man. Gotta hang them up.
For me. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What else you got here? Let's see. Man, any other Christmas stuff out there you wanna throw out?
Yeah, I think I've got something.
I bet you do.
Swipe left or swipe right?
Oh, we should have done a lot of these swipe left, swipe rights, but that's all right.
Well, here's one for you. Midnight Mass.
Ugh.
Oh, I think I know where this is going based on that.
So we did Midnight Mass forever, and I swipe right to it. I liked Midnight Mass because it made it to where I didn't have to wake up early and go to church. I mean, I'm a night owl anyway, so I'd have to say swipe right. If it was like an option, Midnight Mass or Christmas morning Mass, Midnight Mass all day long, 430 times every time. Let's do it.
430 times every time.
That's how I do it.
That's my favorite thing you said so far. I think for me, it's swipe left. But yeah, if it's between going Christmas morning and midnight mass, I have to swipe right. But it's generally swipe left for me because you have other options now too. You can go earlier in the day on Christmas Eve.
You can watch it on TV.
You can watch it on TV, which is what I've been doing anyway. But midnight mass, we went for years to midnight mass.
Forever. St. Dominic midnight mass.
Yeah, and we went to St. Martin, and it was, number one, packed.
Oh,
packed.
Gotta get there early.
Because you have hundreds of people, maybe thousands, that don't go to church all year, that go to church on
Christmas and on Easter.
And midnight mass is a tradition, and it's a special mass and all that stuff. and they're there, so it's packed. So number one, that's part of why I swipe left, because you have to get there early. I don't want to get there any earlier than I have to, right?
Right.
So swipe left on getting there a half hour, 45 minutes sometimes early, and having to just sit there and listen to the choir sing for 30, 35 minutes before the mass actually starts. Now, the good thing about it was you start getting tired because, look, when you're a kid, we grew up Catholic. Catholic mass is pretty darn boring.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
So you start getting sleepy. It's 1 o'clock in the morning when you get out of there.
Yeah.
And you already know. So now you're a little tired, and you know it was the easiest day of the year for me to go to sleep anyway on Christmas Eve, because you were told that was the best night for parents, because they were like, hey, the earlier you go to bed, the earlier you go to sleep, the sooner morning comes, the sooner Santa comes, and the sooner morning comes.
That's right.
And so I was excited about that anyway. So I would go 1 o'clock a.m. We get home. I'm going straight to bed. It was a little easier to fall asleep then because it was so late, and I had just been through watching grass grow and paint dry, and so I was ready to go to bed, and that meant here comes Christmas. Here comes waking up and sitting at the top of the steps so that Dad could get the video camera set up.
Yep.
And then when he's all ready, he says, "Come on down," and then we run down the steps, and or take the exercise mat and slide down the steps. We could do that to get down, or anyway, we would run out into the living room and
everybody have fun. Yeah. So we always did the dad would set the camera up and never touch it, and it would just try to make sure everybody was in on it. Oh, those are some of the funniest videos in the world. Some of the best videos in the world are just watching, just watch one person for the entire 2 hours that you're opening presents. It's hilarious.
I hate watching myself in those. I feel like everything I did, I'm like, oh, what a little punk.
That's what I look like the whole time?
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, what are you doing?
I hated myself when I was little. I mean, now I hate myself, my little self. Anyway.
That's terrible. So anyway, yes. So there you go on Christmas Mass. I'm definitely on that side of it.
Okay.
No doubt.
All right. Let me ask you this.
Ask away.
You're a married man.
I am.
How do you navigate? So you have what, 4 sides of a family to go to Christmases.
Yep.
How in the world do you make that happen?
We've got it pretty easy now. I mean, between us, our mom's side goes the Saturday after Christmas, piece of cake. Her mom's side's Christmas Eve. And then I have what is there? Then my mom and dad on Christmas Day, and her mom and dad on Christmas Day. Her mom and dad has her dad's side, so we're good to go. And we just did my dad's side last week.
Okay, so you go real
pretty
early.
Simple.
And we go, like you said, about a week late. We have a Christmas open house on Christmas Day this year. It's at Grandma's. Whoever can make it, and we did that because most of us are grown and have our own families, and everybody's
way too many
got
places
these things.
to go.
Right. So we have the official one a week later.
Yeah.
So that works out. So you got it. You have it figured out.
Oh, dude, we've got it.
Out.
It's been about 2 or 3 years now, man. It's simple. Wake up, open up Christmas presents with the little guys and girls, hang out there at the house, and head over to Mom's house, have a little brunch, open up Christmas presents till we're there from 11 to 2 or 3. And maybe a little later than that, just depends. Then we head over to her mom's house, which is my whole family lives on the same block. I'm a typical West Sider.
Right.
Put the car in neutral, roll down the road, and fall into the next driveway, and we're there all night long. We will be at her mom and dad's till probably like 2 in the morning.
Oh, wow. So the kids fall asleep, and then you just hang out for a little bit, and then you toss them in the car. And
we bring PJs and everything like that.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, I feel like it's hard for a lot of people.
So now, what is your plans on Christmas Day this year? What you got going on?
Okay. Well, I will go. So we traditionally do my dad's side on Christmas Eve.
Uh-huh.
Now, I think because this is going to be maybe the second year ever that we are not doing it on Christmas Eve. We're going to do it the day before on the 23rd.
Oh.
So I think that's for the people, because a lot of other people do stuff with
On
their
Christmas Eve.
significant others' families on Christmas Eve too. So because it falls on a weekend, it falls on a good,
Sure.
23rd is
Sunday. Knock
Christmas
it out
Eve's
on a Sunday.
Christmas Eve's
Good
Monday.
to go.
Right. So we're going to do that. I think most people are off on Christmas Eve, I guess, so we can be there late and all that. So yeah, I'm 23rd. I've got that side. I'm not sure what we're doing immediate family wise. If we're going to, we usually, I guess, go to Joe and Lauren's now, to my brother's, because he has the kids.
Yep.
So
Go to the kids,
so
man.
they don't
That's
have
what it's
to
all about
drag
anyway.
them out, right? So I don't know what we're gonna do with that. I haven't asked yet. But then I'll go to the open house, the Christmas open house at Grandma's in the afternoon on Christmas Day, and then on the 30th, I will be at
There
official.
you go. Nice and easy.
Official.
Yeah, mandatory Christmas.
I got to be honest with you. It's one of the things I kind of enjoy about not being married, is having to go to
nice,
1,000 different places.
Mine's not that bad. When we first got married, it sucked because everything was on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. But now, man, it's real simple. We got it nice and easy now.
That's good.
Well, the wives and the sisters and the moms all got together and figured them all out, and we're good to go.
Yeah. I feel like it's always going to work itself out.
Yep.
I let myself worry about stupid stuff all the time, but it's going to work out.
Oh, yeah.
No
problem. So, there you go. You got anything else? Any other Christmas stuff? Next. So it's Christmas. It's Christmas. The worst hair poll is over for the nosebleeds. I think we're going to wait to do a poll till after the first of the year.
Yep,
our next big tournament style poll. We may throw a poll out there every once in a while here coming up. Next week, I think we're going to talk a little baseball cards action. Find about the old school baseball cards. Maybe throw in some funny nicknames of some old baseball players, stuff like that. We've got some things planned out for the coming year.
A big part of our childhood was collecting cards.
Huge. That's what that was a huge part. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that next week because I want to take a big part of the show and talk about baseball cards. It might bore the hell out of some people, but dude, baseball cards were my life when I grew up.
Yep.
So we got that. Before we get done, man, any other Christmas stuff you want to go over on the Christmas edition of the Nosebleed Sports Podcast?
I have a couple things, but they're not that important.
Well, let's do it. I mean, we're only an hour and 15 minutes. We usually go way forever
15?
long. Yeah.
So let me start this question then by saying, if you are listening to this podcast at any point and you have children with you also hearing it,
oh, we're going to go that route.
This might be a good time to just turn it off until you get a chance to listen by yourself.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
But because
I'm still a believer, so
you didn't even know that's what it was going to be about.
The only thing it could be about. What do you got?
I was going to talk about the man's struggle with weight loss. I don't know. It's unfortunate.
My struggle with weight loss?
No, Santa's.
How do you know? You seen him?
Sure, I've seen him.
Oh, I've never seen him.
He's in every movie. He's on TV.
They got a new Christmas special out now with Kirk Douglas as Santa, and he's a little upset of the way they portray him.
Kurt Douglas?
Yeah, it's actually really good. I'm a big Netflix. I've seen every Christmas show on Netflix over the past month. Okay. But yeah, he's a little upset with the way that Santa's portrayed. I've never seen Santa. I don't know if he's a big fat guy. I don't know why we portray him that way. He might be stout. I mean, that dude's got to. He's got to go, and he's moving. On Christmas Day.
I bet he looks just like Gandhi. I bet he's a little tiny Indian dude that's like weighs like 100 pounds.
I see him looking like Abhinav. I feel like he's like Bob Abhinav. Not a big guy.
Bob's beard's better.
Yeah,
than Santa's.
I feel like that's what Santa's beard probably looked like before it got white. If it is white, I have no idea. Never seen him. It's magic, man. It's magic.
Apparently, he's hundreds of years old or thousands of years old or something like that.
Probably $2,000.
Sure,
every bit of $2,000.
He's about $2,000. Pounds or years?
Years.
Okay. Loki's magic, so he could be anything.
All right, so what do you got?
So my question is, how old were you?
10, probably 10 or 11, somewhere in that range.
Okay. That's probably around 11, 12, something like that.
Something like that. I feel like the oldest child is usually hangs on longer,
Sure.
and then the younger the siblings get, the younger they find out about the whole deal.
Sure. That's interesting. I want to ask my siblings how old they were.
Yeah. I know my niece was like when she was 12, and then her little sister found out the next year, and she was like 9.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way it works out, I guess. Because kids have a harder time keeping secrets and figuring all that stuff out. But you get curious anyway, and then you have friends eventually that start finding out,
poking around about it. Hey, look, man, I wrote the letter to Santa that last year. Like, dude, I still believe in you, brother. Man, it's all good. Don't worry, I'm not listening to what everybody says. I just wanted my presents, man. I didn't want to. If there's an opportunity to believe and to get a present because I still believe, you better believe I'm gonna believe. Better believe I'm gonna believe. However that works.
Alex brought up a good point. Maybe we keep calling him he. What if
it's a she?
What if it's gender neutral?
Yeah.
What if he's a fluid gender Santa?
What's fluid gender?
I said,
what does that even mean?
What if he's a fluid gender Santa?
What is fluid gender?
It's fluid. It's whatever you decide it is at any given time. It's just whatever. I don't know.
Is it like an amoeba?
Yeah, it's kind of like an amoeba. It's just whatever it is. It's just
like a fish.
It could change.
It's got a little bit of both organs, or are we talking about
Do fish have both organs?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know. Anyway, he just brought up a funny point there.
There you go.
But anyway,
it's true though. It's true. We don't know.
Could be.
We've never seen it.
We've never seen it.
I'm start saying it. I'm starting
Same
to call
thing with God.
We've
How do
never
we
seen
know?
Santa.
How do we know God
sometimes
is not
you just got to believe what you can't see, man. You got to believe what you can't see.
Well, I believe
that's why I still wake up and there's presents under the tree.
That's okay.
I know a guy.
Well,
he's in his early 30s, and to this day, his mother and father have never told him there is or is not a Santa. And he's never said anything to them. They never had the conversation. And every Christmas morning, he gets over there and there's presents from Santa, and it's just him and his mom and dad, and they write Santa on the presents. Everybody knows what is known.
Wow,
but they keep they keep the ship rocking, dude. They keep it going. I love that. I like that. That's how I want to be. I'm never saying nothing to any of them kids. You got to, hey, my kids ever say, is there Santa? You better believe it. And you better act straight. What do presents say when you get them? It's in different handwriting, ain't it? That's how I figured it out, by the way. Santa had the same handwriting as my dad.
Yeah. He didn't go lefty, or he didn't shake it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Once I started figuring out handwriting, that was it.
That was it.
Yeah,
that was how you find out.
Seriously, that's how I figured it out.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yep, that, and I didn't have a door on my bedroom door. wake up and it looks directly into the
with a giant armful of wrapped gifts walking past.
He's putting my bike together, and I'm sitting there watching him put it together. I can see directly into the living room. He putting a bike together in there. Boy, I hope that don't say Santa on it tomorrow morning.
That's nice of Dad to put together a bike for Santa. That's
I
great.
know. That's Santa brought it. I just opened it up and put it together.
So do your kids do like the sit milk and cookies out for Santa?
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
All the traditional stuff.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I'm most excited about around Christmas time if I become a parent is leave me some milk and cookies because I'm going to be the one
eating the milk and cookies. Let me
cookies.
tell you what the greatest invention in the history, when you become a parent, the best invention ever was Santa Claus. Number one. Number two, that little elf that lives on the shelf. That dude's number two. So yesterday, my boy is telling me he doesn't want to go to bed. He's not brushing his teeth. I don't want to brush my teeth. So I walked over. He named his elf Mike. Why? I don't know. I'm out of town sometimes. Maybe the guy that comes to my house and wrestles with my wife when I'm out of town, his name's Mike. So he named the elf Mike. I don't know. So I said, Mike, You hearing this? You better go tell Santa. Before I even got done talking to this little stuffed animal, my dude was in the kitchen, mouth open. I'm sorry. Waiting for me to brush his teeth. It's the greatest invention ever. I know who invented Santa Claus. Somebody with a really bad kid.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because he's
telling
always
you.
watching, right? He
Always.
sees you when you're sleeping.
It's a little creepy, but yeah.
Knows when you're awake.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. If you don't have a chimney, a lot of houses don't have a chimney. How's it get in?
You know, they got the little key, and, you know, he's saying Santa. I mean, how's he get down the chimney anyway? He's just going, he can fit through the keyhole. Shoot, man, this dude's, he's magic as all magic.
Because he's magic.
Yeah, he just becomes flat and goes through the door or something.
We just got lazy and just made him magic. Magic solves magic just explains everything that can't be explained.
Exactly.
Yeah.
God's magic.
I gotcha.
I'm magic. Magic Mike. That's
Mike
probably
is
where
magic.
how Mike got named. The elf got named Mike because Magic Mike's probably always being watched in my house. I like Magic Mike, dude. That's a bad show.
Another Christmas movie I've never seen, Magic
You've
Mike.
never seen Magic Mike?
No.
Have you seen Magic Mike 2?
No, I've only seen 5. I've only seen Magic Mike 5.
There's no 5.
That's
1 and 2
not-
are good too. What's his name? Michael Strahan's in 2.
Okay, then I will never